Hey, what's up, Clashers? Turin 56 from iKonik here, bringing you another highlight attack video. This was from iKonik War 120, where Tycho was able to 3-star this base using surgical hogs, as they have been being called recently. Kind of a new attack strategy, which is pretty cool and can be very effective on certain bases. So as always with these videos, first we'll look at the base itself, show you where the traps are. We'll talk about why the strategy was used, what some of the weaknesses of the base are, and then we'll go ahead and look at the replay, see how it all worked out. So this was the first attack on this base that Tycho was able to 3-star it on. We did not know the location of any of these traps. As it turned out, they were here. There's a Tesla there, one there, and then two in this 2x4 void there. And then the big bombs were, there was two here in the core and two up there. Now, the weakness that Tycho chose to exploit here, well, a couple weaknesses. The reason why surgical hogs worked pretty well on this base, I say pretty well, really well, obviously 3 stars, is because his point defense is heavy on the exterior of this base. So look at this, all the point defense here is on the exterior of this base here. All the the cannons and the archer towers, with the exception of the Teslas, of course, and the Expos in the middle. All the point defense is on the exterior. So that means once he can get through that exterior, that the hard candy shell, he's got a soft nougaty core of a base here that's going to go down relatively easily to hogs. So he doesn't need a huge group of hogs pathing through. These guys will also be distracted very well by any giants that are dropped in front of the hogs, which is one of the main principles of the surgical hog technique. So let's go ahead and look at the very first step that he does here, Tycho does, is he's not to get the lure, but he's going to clear out this entire northern chamber here using 4 balloons. 2 coming in there on that archer tower and 2 here on this cannon is going to take out all 3 of those defenses up there. That's a fantastic trade right at the start here. For obvious reasons, it takes out 3 defensive buildings, but it also eliminates these 2 voids here from any hog pathing, which is perfect because that's where 2 of the giant bombs were. So right away, those 2 are not a factor at all. He's able to eliminate those from the attack. Next, he's going to launch his army here. Now, this is one of the luxuries of this attack style, as opposed to a normal Hog-a-Wee-Wee attack where you want to lure first and then kill the clan castle troops outside of the base. He brings along a lightning spell, so he's just going to launch the kill squad portion of his attack here. He's got 2 golems. This is a shattered surgical hog team. Brings, you know what, I guess this first one was up here, because he does a good job of offsetting his wall breakers on that one there, with the splash damage in the area, with both that mortar and that wizard tower potentially being able to key in on his wall breakers. He does an excellent job making sure to offset his wall breakers, bringing them in away from his golem so they won't be taken out by collateral damage when the splash damage is targeting them. Over here, not an issue. He can drop his wall breakers right on top of his golem because it's just this one mortar here, and he's able to easily time that, but he's not too worried about that because he's able to sneak in there. So he breaks open these 2 walls. The golems come in. Of course, as always, you've got to build a funnel. Doesn't matter what your attack style is. So he's taken out these garbage buildings here, allowing his royals to head right on inside here. The king, of course, the queen, they're going to head inside. And then with the benefit of a jump spell, very nicely placed. I'm probably exaggerating it down into this chamber here, but it's gonna get him in all the way into the core here. They're going to be able to sneak in Going to do a lot of damage taking out these buildings along the way, and that Archer Queen is going to go down. And at this point he's going to start the hog launch. So now the trick with the surgical hogs is you're only going to launch, as opposed to a big group of them, targeting them at 1 or 2 defenses or even 3 defenses, sending in all your hogs at once. It's like precision looning. You're just going to drop 2, 3, 4 hogs, depends on the base, but in this case he drops 2 or 3 per defense. But before he does that, he drops a giant. So the giant rolls in here, just kind of beats on a wall, but he's attracting the attention of all these defenses here, this cannon, this archer tower, and while that's happening, he's going to drop a few hogs on each of these defenses. He tries to go for this wizard tower here, but just the base layout, they all go for that cannon instead. And then he starts to wrap around the base doing this. So he gets that one going, then he drops another giant over here. And this giant's going to attract the attention of this cannon and that wizard tower, and then he's going to do the same thing with his hogs, pushing them in on these defenses over here. No heals yet. He only has 2 heals because of, my apologies, the jump, and then there's a lightning spell right there to take out the clan castle troops. So he's got to be very patient with his heals as he wraps around the base like this. And he's got another giant over here that's going to attract the attention of that archer tower and that cannon, and then just a few more hogs in on those buildings there as well. So the idea is to just slowly and kind of wrapping around the base in a clockwise or counterclockwise fashion. Giants up first just as a quick early distraction, and then you target the point defense on the exterior of the base. Let them kind of work their way through, and while they're small groups of hogs to start off with, as they push into the base, they're going to start meeting up under the heal spells that you have for them. So eventually they meet up towards the core here, and he's going to have a couple of heal spells down in about those areas there, I'd say. And this base goes down very nicely to this strategy. Very nicely indeed. He's able to take out, obviously, the entire base, plenty of troops left for cleanup, and gets the easy 3-star. So I'll go ahead and clear off all this stuff. I hope that I explained that well. It's still a relatively new attack that I haven't been able to, unfortunately, see all that often. So very nice start here, getting the 4 for 3 trade on the loons for defenses here. Eliminating those giant bombs from pathing of his hogs. Nice funnel there with those wizards. That's the correct order there. Golems, wizards, then wall breakers. And he's got a big old runway for his heroes to climb all on top of and just run right down towards that archer queen. And then he sees that she's going to be engaged, and he's got that lightning that's going to take out those clan castle troops very well. That's part of the reason why he brought 2 golems instead of just 1. And then here come the hogs. So the giant down first, and then 2 or 3 hogs per defense, and then wrapping around again, another giant, more defenses or more hogs, and then another giant up on the east, more hogs. Nice quick drops. He had these all planned out in advance. He knew exactly what the plan was here. He wasn't making it up as he went along. I'm sure he rehearsed this one in his head several times before he actually performed it. And that is such a good habit to do. Anytime you can do that, your attacks are going to be so much stronger if you rehearse it in your head, plan for all eventualities. And there you go. Look at that. A really nice technique there. The reason why this technique was something that he used on this war is because there's several potential voids for the double giant bombs. If you look down in the south there's those 2 2x4 voids, and then there's the one in the core as well. So he just wasn't sure exactly where they were going to be. If you send in your hogs 2, 3, 4 at a time per defense, you're minimizing how many you can possibly lose all at once to giant bombs. If your hogs are all in one huge group and they hit a pair of giant bombs, you're done. The attack is over. But if you only lose 3, 6, it's not. There's still plenty of hogs left, and they can forge on and take out the rest of the base. So a really nice job implementing this relatively new strategy by Tycho, getting 3 stars on a tough base. Awesome work, bud. There you go, guys. That's the highlight from 120. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned a little something for it. I will probably be looking to put together a how-to surgical hog video here relatively soon. We shall see. Keep your eyes out for that. So until next time, guys, this is Turn 56 saying keep on clashing.